One characteristic of almost all premium audio and video gear, so think amplifiers and speakers and turntables and Blu-ray players, almost all the really high-end products in those categories are much better built and therefore better isolated from vibrations than their entry-level counterparts. Can you add some decoupling isolation products to the gear that you already own and therefore get better sound? I'm Joe with Gramophone. Let's take a look at improving the sound of your system with products that in some cases are under $100 from IsoAcoustics. So who is IsoAcoustics? Well, they're an OEM or original equipment manufacturer that's been in business for well over a decade, engineering products that decouple and isolate for such well-known brands as Sonus Faber and PSB Synchrony. In fact, Sonus Faber's top-of-the-line $750,000 Suprema speakers have IsoAcoustics decoupling technology already engineered into the product. But IsoAcoustics is not just an OEM manufacturer. They also make a full range of products for folks like you and me so that we can upgrade the sound of our gear and get better performance. Really, the first and foremost thing that these can do is take away some of those room rattles that you get when you're really pounding away with your system. And then secondly, if you don't have room rattles, they can still upgrade the sonic performance of the gear that you already have. Do these decoupling products from IsoAcoustics really work? Well, the owner of VPI turntables is quoted on the IsoAcoustics website as saying, "The biggest improvement in sound I've ever heard on my system." Why? It's really very simple. When you and I are listening to Led Zeppelin and John Bonham's kick drum, or Top Gun with the airplanes rolling overhead, we feel it literally in our gut, in our legs. Well, guess what? Our components and our speakers also feel those vibrations. And if left untreated, they can really kind of distort and blur the sound of our music and our movies. We love having you along for the ride. Thank you for watching this video. And if you're enjoying it so far, please like and subscribe and click that little bell icon so you're always notified of our upcoming content. Let's take a look at some of the awards that IsoAcoustics has won, and then we'll take a look at 6 of their best-selling products. So let's start with one of their best-selling products. This is the Orea Series, and this is Orea Bronze. Now, these have a series of internal isolators that, again, decouple that mechanical energy that we're dealing with. There's a series of these products, and they're each calibrated to the weight range of your component. So in this case, Orea Bronze is rated for up to 8 pounds per one of these. Example, you've got an amplifier that weighs 25 pounds. So you're going to unscrew the 4 footers in that amplifier, use 4 of these. 8 times 4 is 32. So you're well within the weight range of using this. So now here's a tip for you. It's important with the IsoAcoustics products to get the correct one for the weight of your component or your speaker. So we said Orea Bronze up to 8 pounds per unit that you've used. If you have a 55-pound amplifier, let's say, instead of a 25-pound amplifier, these aren't going to give you a whole lot of improvement in sound. For that, you'd want to move up to the Orea Indigo. Now, the good news is that on their website, these folks are very good about listing exactly what the weight range is. So again, 8 times 4 is 32. If you've got something that's, we say, try to stay within about 20% less than that max. So up to maybe 25, 26 pounds, somewhere around there, you're still good with this. Then you'd want to move up. So this next product is quite popular. It's called IsoPuck Mini. And it's rated up to 6 pounds each. So in the case of this Focal bookshelf speaker, 6 times 4 is 24. We're in good shape. You can see that this is a fairly simple matte black kind of a finish, and it doesn't screw in. So many speakers in this kind of price range don't have a threaded insert in the bottom, so you don't need to worry about a threaded insert. You literally just place the 4 of these underneath the speaker like so, and it will give you good isolation. We played Dire Straits. There's an album called On Every Street, and the song is You and Your Friend, popular demo cut. The voices sounded natural, the music sounded great, but when we put the IsoPuck Mini underneath the speaker, we noticed that that bass line tightened up, it seemed fuller, It was just clearer and more enjoyable to listen to the bass line. And pretty much whatever bookshelf speaker that you have, again, as long as it's within the weight limit of 24 pounds total, we'd expect that you'd get the same result. This is a IsoAcoustics product called Gaia III, and they actually even have noted on the box here both ISA awards for best product and the Stereophile awards that Gaia III has gotten. And these simply screw into the bottom of the speaker. In this case, obviously, it's a Sonus Faber Olympica 2. They screw in the place of, where you would normally be screwing in. In fact, let's just grab and show you here. Using this product from Totem, you can see where they've got a threaded insert here. And that's where Gaia III would get put in, is right by the threaded insert. This is really one of their most highly awarded products because it's got excellent engineering. You'd hardly notice it. You really almost have to look at the bottom of the speaker to even know it's there, but it gives much better isolation. We used a cut from the album Mysterium, and the masked strings were just so much clearer. And for me, that was a real insight into, typically, the IsoAcoustics products seem to always give you a better bass, but that was one where the mid-range just seemed so much clearer and more open. Those masked strings, it was really easy to hear the definition amongst them, and yeah, it just made the listening experience much better when we used these. So next we're going to talk about IsoAcoustics Aperta. And by the way, you can order IsoAcoustics products from us at Sky by Gramophone. You're always going to get fast and free shipping with a secure checkout. Bang, straight to your door. Makes it easy. This next product is pretty clever. This is the IsoAcoustics Aperta speaker stand. Now, these are made of these cast aluminum frames. They're really ruggedly built. And you can see it's got the patented isolation system both at the top and at the bottom of this frame. And by the way, this frame is actually adjustable. So you can pull this out just a little bit, as you can see we've done here with this SVS Prime speaker, so that we've angled the tweeters just a little bit up. Or you can push it back down and leave it completely level if you want. But these do a really good job with sound isolation in the bookshelf speaker realm. They make them for small, medium, or large bookshelf speakers. And again, they do a great job of letting you know the weight range that you want to deal with. They're available, by the way, in either black or silver finish, and they look really pretty cool. When we listen to the song 16 Tons from Jeff Castellucci, it's got a deep, deep, rich male vocal. But it's also got this recurring bass drum that kind of just keeps repeating. And when we listened with Aperta, it wasn't so much that that bass drum was louder, but it was more clear and more prominent in the mix, and therefore more enjoyable for us to listen to. By the way, we want to say something also about directionality. When they engineered Aperta, they engineered it to maximize the ability to manage bass energy with the driver facing forward. So you notice that on one side of this four-sided item, you have the IsoAcoustics logo. As long as you line it up so that the speaker, creating the bass energy here, is in line with the IsoAcoustics logo, you're most effectively managing the bass energy. You could have it sideways like this underneath the speaker, but that won't give you quite as good a performance as if you've got it sitting facing the same way that the driver is facing. Subwoofers are always fun because they create all that bass energy that makes our movies and our music so fun and enjoyable to listen to. But that can actually be a problem because subwoofers can create so much bass energy that if left unmanaged, it can bleed back into the music or movie and result in distortion that you really don't want. So IsoAcoustics makes what they call Aperta Sub. Just like with Aperta that we saw a moment ago, it's this aluminum frame that then has the isolators top and bottom. And just like with Aperta a moment ago, you want to line up the driver with the logo. That's where it's going to best manage the bass energy. And I can tell you that this really does make a significant difference. So what happened when we listened? In this case, we were using the SVS Micro 3000 subwoofer, which is pretty potent for its size, and a Justin Timberlake cut that I'd never heard before called Morning Light, which features Alicia Keys. It's got this kind of rich, deep bass thing happening a lot of bass energy. And when we listened with and without, it just became really clear after a few listens that, again, we could hear those bass notes more clearly than we could hear them when we didn't have the Aperta Sub. And again, if you've got a much bigger, more powerful sub, the Sub XL will handle up to a 160-pound subwoofer. It's worth checking out. I think you'll appreciate it.
For me, IsoAcoustics give you a level of dimension unlike what you would expect for a very, very low price. I don't quite understand how it's done, but it's some type of a magic. I love looking at their videos online where you can see different comparisons that they've done for clients or for different people who are not used to sound in that way. Getting the speaker to move freely versus locking it into place is something that I didn't think was important. But IsoAcoustics helped me to understand that. Their Gaia feet, which if you go on their website, they'll actually help you to choose which one is perfect for your speakers. It absolutely transforms the soundstage. Noise is basically not going to be around any further. It's absolutely a wonderful product. When using something like what IsoAcoustics is as a product, you end up seeing something unbelievable. Now, I understand in our line of what we do, there's a lot of people that make claims about products that change things. IsoAcoustics is one of those products that actually makes a difference in your system. And it's at a low cost. If someone really wanted to improve their system, you can't look anywhere to a better place than IsoAcoustics for getting your speakers not to move, getting rid of micro vibrations in your products. It's absolutely a wonder in terms of what you'll get. You should try it if you haven't tried it yet, and I'm telling you, tell a friend.
Now this is the IsoAcoustics Delos 1815W2, the W standing for walnut. If it looks like a massive butcher block, it is. It's also available in a beautifully finished maple, by the way. But it's a butcher block with, of course, the patented IsoAcoustics isolation system installed in the bottom to better absorb vibrations. Think about a premium turntable. Your stylus and your tone arm are both moving all the time from left to right, up and down with a little bit of warpage maybe to a record, side to side as it's negotiating the grooves. If you've got a premium turntable, why wouldn't you invest in one of these to make sure that you're getting all of what you paid for in your nice turntable, phono cartridge, and of course the hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands of dollars you have invested in your records. Get the most out of your investment. If you're skeptical about the level of improvement you might get from IsoAcoustics products, that's okay. I was skeptical initially as well, but we urge you to do a demo, because we've actually heard the improvements for ourselves, and we'd love for you to hear the improvements too. IsoAcoustics products can absolutely help you if you've got rattles from, let's say, your heating and air conditioning system, that sort of thing. But even if you don't, if you've paid good money for your music and movie reproduction equipment, you might try these to see how much more you can get out of your investment. We've heard the difference. We've got stores in Timonium and Columbia and Gaithersburg, Maryland, and we'd love to play these products for you or any of our fine products. And to learn more about our great products, you can always go to www.gramophone.com and check out IsoAcoustics and all our fine brands. Thank you for watching this video. We love having you aboard, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.